Hey guys. Oh, my camera works. Yes. Okay, it was kind of being wonky. I think it was me. I think it was me messing with the controls a little too much. Let me adjust it a tad. How is everybody? Beard, what is up? I saw you in the chat. How are you, man, old friend? Not that you're old. You've been a friend for a long time. Although you are old. You're the same age as me, so that makes you old. How are you, man? I know he's from Australia, so a lot of times when I stream at night in the US, it's the opposite time. It's like he's at work or it's early in the morning. So when I do these daytime streams, is usually when I get to see Mr. Beard. So how are you, man? Still waiting on those lottery ticket numbers to send me. Shade, what's up? Coffee. You're gonna have a heart attack from all the coffee you drink, Beard. Man, I drink a coffee in the morning. I usually snag an energy drink. I will drink a soda sometimes too. I really need to cut down on my caffeine intake. I really do. But like this week has been tough because I stayed up late streaming Sunday night with Rat Dog, a silent mod. So stayed up late. I had to wake up super early Monday. And then, well, yesterday, like the Fun Pimps drop 2.5, not drop it, but they dropped the details about 2.5, which is one of the things I've kind of been asking for is can we start getting the patch notes before it drops? And that's mainly for us creators, so we can like kind of know, like put out some info, or so you guys kind of know. So kudos to them for putting out the patch notes, or kind of the patch note. It's more of a, I don't know if it's really a patch notes. It's more of just kind of a news article, I guess they put out. But they put that out last night, and so I kind of was like, well, I can either do the video tonight or I can do it tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? I don't sleep anyway, so let's just do the video. So I stayed up till like 11. I worked on the video till like 11 p.m. last night, and then of course tossed and turned in bed because my brain's super active at night. Isaac, what's up? Let's see. Everybody's kind of rolling in. Lily Cat, hi. So what I'm going to do today, I got a couple hours. I had to burn some time off from work, and I have a couple hours today. So I mainly just want to hear your guys' thoughts on 2.5, and I kind of also want to go through some of the comments. There's already been like, how many comments am I up to on this video? Does it tell me? It tells me on mobile. Let me look on mobile real quick. It's easier to see on mobile. How many comments am I up to? We're up to 255 comments. So I really just want to know the sentiment of the community on this. I really want to do a real Noxitis. I hope I said that right. Let's see. Okay. Has everybody seen the patch notes? Has everybody seen it? Let me just jump over here. Let me jump over to this other screen. Let me get my, do I want to do a screen capture? Oh, do I have display capture? Let's do that. Okay. Has everybody seen the patch notes? I did put out a video if you haven't seen the patch notes. But basically, we're going to be getting improved water survival with jars. That's from the devs. I don't know. Reading the comments, and now that I have some time to process this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like all we're getting with the jars is jars are going to be lootable now. I think we're still going to find murky water, but empty jars are going to be lootable now. They're still a single use item. Let me find that real quick. What stood out the most that people like the old empty jar system for immersive feeling of rummaging through loot to find an empty jar.
Prepare for glory.
Well, thank you, David. Was that a sub? Thank you, David. Welcome in. I think it's funny that they say this, and it's right here, by the way. What stood out the most was people like the old empty jar system for immersive feeling of rummaging through loot to find an empty jar. That's kind of funny how they said that. But It's interesting that they said people like the old empty jar system, but they're actually not going back to the old empty jar system. They're not doing that. They're like, hey, you like this, but we're going to do something different. Let me find it real quick. Okay. To balance gameplay, jars are one-time use, not refunded. The Dew Collector unlocks at Workstation Crafting level 16, is now crafted on the workbench, and additional resources are required for crafting murky water and other drinks. Oh, I'm sorry, for crafting, period. Murky water and other drinks still have a chance to be found in loot. So you can still find murky water and drinks. So basically, the only thing that changed from what I can tell is the Dew Collector is being pushed back in crafting, which I'm okay with. And now glass jars are lootable. That's, as far as I know, that's the only thing that's changed. So yeah. Eagle, hey, what's up, Eagle Vet? How are you? Rat Dog. No, we didn't like the old system. We just liked the empty jars. Rat Dog, how are you, man? Rat Dog, how do you feel about this? Have you read the notes? I'm assuming you have. I mean, Rat Dog and I played a lot of Alpha 16 and the Alpha 16 is back mod, and I liked going back to Alpha 16 that first few days of collecting all your jars. Like, hey, Rat Dog, give me all your jars. I'm going to run down to the pond. I'm going to fill up water. I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to cook them. Like, that's a kind of a cool mechanic. And then, but Alpha 16, the jars were refunded, as they said. So I don't know. It's just interesting, I guess. I don't know that I have an opinion on this, really. I think I guess my opinion is, if you're going to bring jars back, just bring them back how they were. But they do want to change. They said balance gameplay. To balance gameplay, jars are one-time use. So they're basically saying, okay, we're going to give you jars, but we're going to do it this way. So I don't know how I feel about it. It's not really that big a deal to me. To me, glass jars was kind of like the pitchfork in everybody's hand. Like, everybody needed an item to show the fun pimps, like, here, change the game because of this. And everybody held the glass jars. So that's kind of how I feel. I wasn't a big fan of replacing glass jars with the Dew Collector per se. I don't know. It's just kind of, if you think about an actual survival, like, let's say you're stranded on an island, or let's say the zombie apocalypse actually happens. I don't know that I'm crafting a Dew Collector within the first 3 days. I just don't know. Maybe a rain collector I'm collecting. I'm going to collect rainwater, but I just don't know. Like, I could see myself running around grabbing as much water as I possibly can. Like in Vane, that's kind of what we do in Vane, the game Vane. We go around and we turn on all the sinks and we fill up, the first couple of days, we fill up every container full of water that we can. So I don't know. I like the one-time use jars. If you think about it in real life, your jars are going to be messed up from cooking the water. Okay. Like, you mean putting them on the campfire, it's going to kind of damage it. I like that. And plus, if you're running around like a madman, and let's say you have a bicycle and a mini bike in your backpack, that's probably going to damage your glass jars in real life. So, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this stream, because I kind of want to see how you guys feel, because mine is just one little opinion. So I still like the old system a little, due to armor more realistic than the new armor. Okay, we'll get to armor. They're doing some changes with armor. They're doing some changes. So the vehicle storage improvements, I'm all for this. The bicycle's getting +1 storage, the mini bike's getting +3, the motorcycle is getting +4, the gyro's getting +5, and the 4x4 is getting +9. There's also mods now we can craft that gives you 1 row, which is 10 slots. So technically the bicycle is going to have 1 more spot, and then you can craft a mod that's going to give you 10 more spots. So, and each vehicle can hold up to 2 vehicle storage mods, which gives you 20. So technically you could put 2 of them on the bicycle. And if you just want to be drive the bicycle around all day, you can have a lot of storage. I like this. Um, Especially a player like me that I usually go bicycle. I try to skip the mini bike and go straight to the motorcycle. And then the motorcycle is my vehicle the rest of the game. And I only craft the gyrocopter to explore the rest of the map and for storage. I usually don't craft the 4x4 truck. So I like this a lot. I think this was long overdue. So I like that. What do you guys think about the storage? 20 jars of water in your pocket. Yeah. Right. Running around with 20 jars of water. Legendary Spade. How are you? How is your day going? I'm worried about how their weather system is going to be because the fun pimps are. They talk about a big game, but they mess everything up. Rat dog. Okay. Yeah. The storms is kind of interesting too. When I was making the video last night, I was like, well, what's changed? The 4x4 storage is really nice. I just want it. It wasn't made of paper. Yeah. Like driving through everything you hit. You literally drive from one trader to a job and your 4x4 goes down 50% health. In my opinion, this is Flip. In my opinion, the problem isn't with the jars, but with boiling the water, because in a post-apocalyptic world, the water should be contaminated. So yeah, so all the water in the world should be contaminated. Maybe not day one of the apocalypse, but certainly within a few days. I would definitely agree with that. Now, like river water, lake water, yeah, definitely. But maybe water you find in like a house or something might be okay. But I definitely see that. Isaac likes the storage idea. Hey, Rob, how are you, man? They could have spent all this time and energy adding several new vehicles. You know, I think vehicles would be cool. Or more zombies. More zombies. Yep. Speaking of that, we got the new Rancher zombie and the new Chuck zombie. I put pictures up. I might have. Let me see. Whoa. Let me drag that over there so it's not blocking the page. Let me see. Just in case you guys live it under a rock. Where is it here? Okay, that's the apiary. Did I say that right? Here's the beehive that's coming right here. I'll get to that in a minute, but if you guys haven't seen that, there is the beehive. Let me see. Is it this one here then? Okay, so here is Chuck. This guy's replacing the Frostclaw. Got a nice puffer coat. He's gonna throw things at you. Yeah, he's apparently more lore related, is what they're saying. And then here is the new Ranger zombie. This is replacing the Frostclaw. He's more lore related. He's kind of the Native American. So yeah, there's the two new zombies. They're still going to act the same. They're still going to spit bees. But the Rancher zombie, you will be able to get beeswax from, and beeswax you need to craft for the beehive. So you'll be able to get beeswax from the beehives, and you'll be able to get beeswax from the Rancher zombie. Why don't they just go like the weather, like in Vane? It'll make it much harder. The weather in Vane is cool. It reminds me of old school 7 Days to Die. Like it literally, like, especially up in the mountains, it can just be snow on the ground and you're cold. Like, especially in the mornings and stuff like that. The weather in Vane is really good. How much you want to bet that by the time you the amused death? Oh, I haven't said hi to you, but welcome in. I know you've been in the stream for a little bit, but that by the time you need whatever requirement there is to make a honey farm, you're way past the need for it. That's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because what level do you need to be for the apiary? Okay. Apiary workstation crafting is unlocked at tier 3 workstations, crafting level 30. Tier 3 workstations. So tier 3 is like crafting level 30. I'm trying to put that in my head where that is. Workbench, how many is crafting level 30? Is that 30 books? Or is that tier 3? I'm trying to think of that. Is that 30 books you need? That's interesting. I will say there are some recipes that we can make with the honey, so that's going to be nice. But yeah, tier 3 workstations, crafting level 30. Tier 3 workstations, that would be like, so you have the forge, the workbench, and then the apiary. Is that sounds about right? Because the forge is what, like 5 forge ahead books, something like that. The workbench is 20, so it's going to be 30. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting point. Like by the time we craft it, are we still going to need it? Um, Kind of insulting, honestly, to dub that Zed a Native American. Hey, I have stayed clear of that. They really want to go this Native American route. I have a lot of Native American culture in my family. My mom has she's like 75% um, Cherokee and Kansas Indian, I believe is what it is. So yeah, I stay out of that whole thing. If they want to go down a Native American route, they can do that. But yeah, I stay out of that whole thing. They did add recipes for the honey. Yeah, they did add recipes. Let me see if they say what new recipes. Okay. Yeah, you got the honey tea, honey glazed ham, which sounds amazing. Perfect for Thanksgiving. And then honey brisket, which gives you 150 food points. So that's going to be pretty late game. But the honey tea sounds pretty good, and it cures your infection. So it's kind of like chrysanthemum tea. 30 books. Thanks, Rob. That's kind of what I figured was 30 books. Legendary, all ammo will be able to be used in the turrets. Yes. Finally, we can use actually all the different ammos in the turrets. That's a nice thing. But yeah, honey tea is kind of like your goldenrod tea. And I kind of already said that a long time. Like, why can't we have goldenrod or red tea cure an infection, or just even like a 1% infection cure? Something like that, you know? Somewhere between workbench and chem station. Yeah, that's about right. The cement mixer is 25. That sounds about right. Workbench is 10. You're probably right. Honestly, I have been playing so many freaking mods lately. I don't even remember what vanilla is. My great grandpa's family history involves the Apache. Very nice. You won't need honey by then unless they ramp up the rate of infection, which I see them doing that, Rob. I see them ramping up infection. I do see them doing that up. Jason and I were talking about the stream on Monday, wishing that was a thing. Wishing what was a thing? Was that the ammo rat dogs you were talking about? The ammo in the turrets? They could make a beekeeper who spits bees from his mask and turn him into a regular zombie on all biomes. These bees still don't fit the Native American character. That's interesting. That, that a beekeeper would be interesting. Like, yeah, that would be interesting for sure. Okay, so on to the next thing is the smell system. So basically, they're bringing back smell. They're kind of re-implementing the smell. There's a lot here. I'm not going to read all of this stuff here, but once you have 5 raw meat, your inventory will create a smell. I see the old console version. If you had it in your tool belt, it was it was a lot stronger smell than your backpack. So like, you can't run around with bacon and eggs in your tool belt, like to eat it quick, because it would emit a big smell. So you had to keep it in your backpack. So I don't see anything in here at all about it being in your hotbar. There are different ways to prevent raw meats from smelling. You can craft bundles using paper and plant fibers, and that can prevent the smell. So if you have raw meat, you can package the raw meat in bundles of 5 using paper. So let's say you kill a bear and you have 40 raw meat. Are you going to have, I can't do math, 8 separate bundles of raw meat? Like, is that going to take up 8 storage spots? Is that how I understand it? Bundles of 5. I don't know. I'm like, I'm kind of wondering, like, so to defeat the smell, do we need to craft these little small bundles? I don't know. This is stuff I was thinking about last night. I'm just like, like the way it's worded. So, consuming multiple items in a row will cause a combined smell distance. The flatulence the player makes, basically farting or having the shits, players you get from dysentery will cause a smell. So if you got, like the other day I was playing Rebirth with Jean and he had dysentery and he was literally, his player was crapping his pants like nonstop. So if he was doing that, Jean was going to attract more zombies to us. We were doing a job together. So that's an interesting mechanic. The ammo, okay, Rat Dog. It would be interesting to make a kill box with bees. It would be cool if the bees actually attacked the zombies instead of just us. What are they thinking about all these updates and changes? It feels like they are taking the fun out of the game. Well, that's kind of why I'm doing this stream, just to kind of get everybody's thoughts. Kind of get everybody's, because I was reading the comments, 255 comments on my video last night, and a lot of it is just like, it's very hesitant. I think is the best word. They've been doing that for years, Rat Dog. I like that if you package the meat, it won't smell. I do like that mechanic. I just hope that we're not going to have to do multiple bundles of 5. They tweeted out a post saying they are going to make jars craftable. Really? Locked behind the crucible. Wow. So you'll be able to craft glass jars, but by the time you can craft them, I don't know that you're going to need glass jars anymore. I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe they'll make like some type of, maybe you can make reinforced jars that don't break and then you can reuse them, that you don't have to refund them. Isn't the smellability just feral sense? Yeah, basically, it's basically just feral sense. That's kind of how it was back in the old alphas 15 and 16. It was just a feral sense. Your current smell can be cleared by submerging yourself in water. I didn't say that in the video, but you can clear your smell by basically cleaning yourself in water. So water finally has a use. Like, I mean, 23 alphas later and we have a use for water. That's pretty cool. We're going to have to find a lake and go dunk ourselves. Let's see. Smells will also add to the stealth meter value. Not that we have any stealth in this game right now at all. I mean, we have no stealth, but now it's going to be, now the smells will decrease the stealth even more. This is interesting. Animal carcasses can now be smelled from further away, so you may have to defend the carcass from more zombies. So if you kill an animal, if you go hunting and you kill a rabbit or a deer, there's a good chance you're going to detect or bring in more zombies. Still no fish. Yep, we'd have no fish. I wish they would have added fish to 2.5. This one I didn't cover in the video because I needed a minute to process this, but there is a new game option AI smell mode, which can be set to off, walk, jog, run, sprint, and nightmare, but defaults to run. You can disable player smells by setting it to off. Excuse me. So there is a new game option, AI smell mode. So right now it's set to run. So if they smell you, the zombies are going to run by default. Is that how it sounds? Like it's going to trigger them to run. I needed a minute to process that. This one right here. So, and you can change it to off, walk, jog, run, sprint, or nightmare if you want. There's animals in the game. Hey, there's actually nice animals that don't try to murder you all the time. They run away though. Distance storm rendering is going to be a thing in 2.5. Basically, we're going to be able to see a storm in another biome, basically. So if you are in the burnt biome and you're kind of near the desert, you can be able to see the storm there. So you know not to go into the storm. Instead of now that if you play with storms, which I don't, I just turn storms off. But if you go into the storm, then the siren goes off. And they're like, oh, there's a storm. And you can't tell when it's done. Now you'll be able to tell when it's done. Biome hazards, storms, temperature. So there's going to be basically biome hazards now. Like the burnt biome's going to have smoke and ash. Desert's going to have sand and dust. Snow's going to have brutal air, cold air. And the wasteland's going to have toxic fallout. So this is kind of the biome progression stuff. Like, I don't really know what's really changed. I guess they're just rebranding this stuff, calling it something different now. If they add fish, are there going to be zombies? Like zombie fish? Ooh. Maybe they'll add piranhas that come after you and like bite your gonads or something. Storms are getting a slight rework. Like this said that, they kind of said they changed storms, but here's my question. Is the changes they're making to storms, and this is what I really want to know from you guys. So sound off. Let me know in the comments. This is one of the big things I really want to know. Is the changes they're making to storms enough for you guys to turn them back on if you have them off? I know a lot of people I play with just turn storms off. I know most of the people like in the console servers that Aramis and I run in the Discord, they want storms off. The people on the, playing on console, just turn them off. We don't want storms on. So storms have been reworked to allow a longer grace period based on clothing worn. So if you're wearing certain clothing, you'll have a longer grace period for the storms to take effect on you. Without clothing, the player gets 30 seconds to leave the biome or take shelter. So if you're butt naked with no clothing, you have 30 seconds if a storm starts. Gathering and wearing protective clothing described below increases the player's time to leave the biome or find shelter. Taking shelter starts a recovery timer that ramps up to 3 times the rate of the grace timer. Rework the storm buff icons to clearly show a difference between the biome themes. Zombies become aggressive and will be more active during storms. Zombies have a higher chance of dropping loot during storms. That's the changes to storms. Is that enough for you guys to turn storms back on? Okay. Chris says no. Did you see the new update they said an hour ago or something about jars? Yeah, Rob just said that, Chris. Rob just put that in there. Thank you. Jars are going to be craftable with a crucible. Beard, going to turn them on. Storms is staying off for me personally. Same with biome progression. Thank you for that. Rustics. No, I still don't like hurry up and wait mechanics. I might, but it's a long shot shade, at least to check them out. Beard, that's kind of how I kind of feel. Isaac, you don't know. I'll probably turn them on to try this out, but I will probably turn them right back off, honestly. I still want zombie graboids underground that can bench an underground base and will be like a portal entrance for zombies as long as the... What? Stone Exile. Hey, send that. Do you want me to send that to the devs? I don't even know what that is, but I feel like we need to be like tripping on some mushrooms to see that in action. Storms are like broken bones. You must stop playing the game for this many minutes. I mean, it's a bathroom break, basically, isn't it? Storms exist in all biomes simultaneously, no matter what. Hey. Oh, no, it's okay, Chris. Don't worry about that. There's a lot of chat kind of going off. Zombie loot isn't very good until very late game, so still not enough. I wish they would just turn... If you're in a storm fighting zombies, I think it should be 100% loot bags. That's my personal opinion. Like, make it worth our while to really want to have storms on. That's my personal opinion. You could actually be like storm hunters, like storm chasers. You could actually have real storm chasers. Like, hey, there's a storm in the desert biome. Let's load up and go. Let's go to the storm. Where everybody gets into a 4x4, goes to the storm, starts killing zombies to get loot. That's my personal opinion. That's what I would change. I'm not saying it's the right change, but that's a change I would propose. Sounds like Tremors. Darren, when doing this update to 2.5, does it kill off your map? No. The only thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Darren. The one thing to remember is if you guys are crafting a workbench, and then the update occurs. So let's say you're crafting a workbench and you log off. And so when you log back
Spartans!
in,
Prepare for glory!
oh, Rustics, thanks. Thank you for that. Okay. When you log back in after 2.5, you will lose the workbench. And you will lose all the ingredients used to craft the workbench. So don't craft a workbench before the update. Asylum mods. Only thing I like to smell stuff, third person and extra vehicle slots. Asylum, I wanted to ask you, is this going to be a pretty big update for you guys over on Asylum mods to be able to convert over? I do know that, like, just speaking with like Kane and stuff like that, and some of the other mod devs and Aramis, sometimes it can be a big undertaking to convert a mod to the latest update. So I was kind of curious, just kind of whatever insight you can provide on that on the modding side. It'd be interesting. Still wondering why there isn't a zombie cougar. You mean like a female, or do you mean a cat? I'm kidding, but like a saber-toothed tiger?
Time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Hey, thanks, Rat Dog, for that. Well, okay, I thought it was crafting items in the workbench. Okay, when changes made with the workstation progression, if a player is in the middle of crafting a workbench, the update will remove that recipe, unlock, and clear the crafting queue. This will not refund the crafting ingredients back to the player. So basically what it sounds like is that you will lose the workbench being unlocked for your character, and you will lose your entire crafting queue. That's the way it sounds like to me. Also, your controller, this is for Rat Dog mainly, but if you play with a controller on PC or console, your complete controller layout will be reset to default. I won't know for sure till it drops, but yeah, looking like a bit of work. I kind of figured it would be. There's a lot of little changes in this one. So I appreciate that, Rad Dog. Zed Cougar is Big Mama. I actually thought it was Karen. Zed Cougar is Big Mama. Oh, okay. Smell system, distant rendering, biome hazards. Okay. Anybody else just question, anybody else going to turn storms on to try this? There's the temperature thing added. We're going to have a hot and cold debuffs and buffs. You'll be able to craft certain things to deal with the hot and cold. I remember in the console version, I died. I had a duster on, and the duster dropped your temperature buff, like, I don't know, 20 or 30%. And I remember I died from being freezing with a duster on. Like I couldn't, I was so cold. I like hypothermia or something like that. So be interesting to see how this implements. Yeah, I mean, gathering and wearing protective clothing described below increases the player's hot and cold resistance, which absorbs various conditions. Shelter, shade, weather conditions, wetness, and other factors play a role in the player's core temperature. Holding a torch, standing by a campfire, consuming items will boost a cold resistance. You'll try the storms and biomes once, Rat Dog? Okay. Shade will try it. Keep it on for the funds. Still waiting for them to open up mod capabilities on consoles. I think it's really kind of maybe hit the devs a little bit how many people want that. I think their stance for the longest time was just no, 0% no. But I really do, it seems like they're more willing to go down the rabbit hole of trying to open up mods for consoles. Because they realize that, especially on PS5, there's a massive player base on PS5. So yeah, they added you, Shade. Gotta wonder how far off 3.0 is and what it will be besides bandits. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what we get in 3.0. This is a big, because some of this stuff they talked about coming to 3.0 and they went ahead and bumped it up to 2.5. When do you think it's coming? 2.5, I would expect experimental either maybe this week, like maybe they usually do experimentals on Fridays. So I would expect it maybe, and I'm just kind of speculating, either this Friday or the Friday after is what I'm kind of expecting. And they've already said they want 2.5 to come to consoles and stable before the holidays. They usually take a pretty big holiday break at the Fun Pimps. So it's going to be on consoles before the holidays. For that to happen, let me look at the calendar real quick. So if it comes out on the 19th, that gives them about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days before Christmas to get it out on stable. So I would almost think they got to do this Friday for experimental. I would almost think they got to do this Friday for experimental. This to give them a chance to the 12th. I mean, just to give them a chance to work out all the kinks and to get it out to port it out to consoles. What's your thoughts on the bandits anyway? Well, the modded bandits, like take for instance the Asylum mod, they had to take the bandits out. They're trying to rework them and stuff like that. It's hard to find a good bandit mod that works on PC. It works well. There's been several of them out there. But a lot of them have aimbot straight to the face, meaning when they shoot you straight in the forehead. Every single bullet hits you in the forehead. So it's very hard to do this. So I'm really interested to see if they're just going to copy and paste what's already out there, like MPC Core, which is what Unity has, I believe. I'm curious if they're just going to copy and paste that, or if they're going to walking aimbots, or if they're going to come up with their own brand new from the ground up AI for these. It really depends. I know they have one person really working on that. He's in the isn't it what's his name? The guy that's always in the forums answering all the questions. So it's just interesting to see what they come up with. If they just copy and paste MPC Core over, I don't think it's going to go over very well. I don't think it is. But if they come up with their own one that works really well, that is immersive, that maybe can think for itself, I don't know. I'm a hopeful. I'm hopeful. I really hope they come up with bandits that can give quests. It'll be their own animations on the bandits, or at least I'm hoping. Yes, me too, Asylum. Me too. I really hope they come up with like bandits that can give you like quests, even if it's just like a clear nearby or something like that, or that are that you can trade with, like maybe wandering traders. Don't just come up with either a enemy bandit and then a friendly bandit. Come up with different bandits. Like come up with a trader bandit, a quest giving bandit, maybe one that has a story to do. So yeah, it'll be, what the heck is that? Reconnect your drive. Get out of here. I don't need to do that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm hesitant to see what they and they haven't told us anything. We already covered the beehive. There's the beehive there. It's going to take beeswax, 100 wood, 50 nails, forged iron, and duct tape to craft. There is a chance when you open the beehive to get the honey out that you're going to get swarmed by bees. There is a way to get rid of that. It is the smoker. Removes the chance to get the angry bee swarm. That's one of the mods. The other mod is the brood box. Whatever the hell that is. It doubles how much honey can be stored, and then the extractor doubles how fast the honey is produced. So it's like a dew collector, kind of like that. Like the tarp and the gatherer. Biome bandits with different gear and weapons, yeah. Will 2.5 ruin my 2.4 save? As far as I know, no, it will not. But we don't know yet for sure. And I think that's kind of what delayed 2.5. I think it was ruining some of the saves that the Fun Pimps were testing. Was looking through the vanilla code and found a commented out quest from Rec to a bandit NPC. Huh. Interesting. I know there's like Trader Jimmy is still in the code also too. The what's the big berserker zombie or whatever that is? Behemoth. Behemoth is still in the code also. They haven't even given 75% of items models. We got new placeholders instead. Yeah. Is the name Isaac or is it something else? I think you do have a different. Isn't it Kronos or something like that on PC? Behemoth. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Behemoth. Let's see. New recipes. We already covered that. Third person camera. Who's excited for third person camera? And I said this in the video that I put out. This is probably the most asked about and most requested thing I have seen in a very, very long time. And it sounds really cool. And it sounds like if this goes to consoles like it is, consoles will have the ability to adjust the camera, go into orbit, which is when the camera orbits around the character. Which, like I said in the video, I like a lot because it gives the console community or people that don't know how to do the debug menu the ability to have some more B-roll for their recordings. You know, you see some of the bigger YouTubers that can get that B-roll footage and stuff like that. It's nice, and I know some of the console guys, when they record stuff, they really have to get creative in how they record things and get B-roll footage and stuff like that. So I think opening this up to the console community is really awesome. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it is really cool. It is really cool. Like I said, we can do it on PC, but Legendary Spade more trap options. I don't think there is more trap options in 2.5. There's more key bindings and improvements. There's a quick actions menu, which brings up the radio menu, kind of like some other games have. Gamepad and console changes. Like I said, everything's going to go back to default. There's more tool belt, quick use things for the controller, though. So on controllers, I think you'll have more quick slots to be able to use, which is really nice. The turret got improved. I think Rat Dog hit this earlier, but basically you can use all of the high tier ammunition and turrets now. So you can use the armor piercing and the what is it called? Hollow point, whatever it is. Armor piercing and hollow point rounds in the turrets, which is kind of cool, especially when you're late game. That's all you use. You just use armor piercing rounds. That's all you use. So now you can put them in your turrets. Shade's heading out. Okay, cool. Appreciate you hanging out, Shade. It's going to be a nightmare for PvP players. Oh, yeah, because you can see around corners and stuff with third person, kind of like Fortnite. You can in Fortnite and stuff. Yeah. We have added a new rendering system to the in-game character windows. The characters are now rendered in a perspective camera with 4-point lighting and rotatable character. I didn't cover this in the video because honestly, I really don't understand it. If it makes the game play better, then I'm all for it. I don't really care. But it's yeah, whatever. If it works better, especially on consoles and the servers, that's great. You guys are getting free cosmetic skins. You're getting the original Survivors pack, which yeah, make them all free. I mean, what are we doing? Just make them all free. And you guys get a Santa hat too. I think you'll have to go into the DLC menu to find these though. So when you do log in after the update, go to the DLC menu, look for those. There'll be some free ones. Grab those. I'm not sure they'll be free all the time because I think the Santa hat is only there during the holidays. So just jump in and grab it. That way you just have it before they, they take it away for the next holiday. And then Jin is getting updated. They did say it's not going to be right away, but it's going to be a bug fix patch after 2.5 stable. We'll have a new Jin. No idea what she looks like. I haven't even seen a preview. No idea. Are they making a rocket turret? That would be cool. I would love a rocket turret. That would be like, yeah, that would be epic. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? I'll go through and read some comments too on the video because there's some really good comments out there. So we'll go do that. But yeah, what's everybody feeling about this? I don't know. It's they're calling it a community goodwill update. So they're trying to say, hey, we're trying to add things that the community has requested. This is the community wants. I don't know. I really don't know exactly how I feel about it. I'm optimistic for it. I guess they're calling it a feature rich update. They're calling it a big update. I don't know if it's really a big update though. I feel like there's a lot of like the jars. Look how many words there are to describe the jars. It's just jars are coming back. They're lootable. So I don't know. Oh, here you go. Jars can be crafted. This might have been added actually just now. Jars can be crafted once you have a forge and a crucible. With no perks, the recipe will be 31 sand and 6 clay. With advanced engineering 5 of 5, the recipe gets reduced to 25 sand and 5 clay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to discount the update. It's just kind of like, it's like I don't know. I'm really hoping 3.0 blows us away. I guess. I really hope that. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I really hope 3.0 blows us away because everybody saw the reviews tank for 2.0. The reviews tanked a little bit for 1.0 too. So the trend is there. If 3.0 does not blow people away, I just think they're running the risk of really people moving on to Vane. Look at Vane. Vane is getting weekly updates. They are wanting to come to consoles. There's a lot of different games out there. The Infected has been getting weekly updates for years now. There's other games making a push for that open world survival zombie game. So and Shrouded has kind of made a resurgence a little bit. Valheim has made a resurgence. There's a lot of games out there that are making pushes, and if 3.0 doesn't blow some people away, I don't know. I think they run the risk of I don't know, player count dropping a little bit and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see. I want the mastery perks to suck less, honestly. Yeah, okay. And Vane is by 2 people. Yeah, you're right. Vane is a 2-person dev team. I wish they added the spike traps. You mean the little the cones? Those were really cool. The last time I got hyped for an update, Alpha 17 dropped, and that was like a kick in the nuts. Yeah, I was. Vane is awesome. We play that tomorrow night, by the way, too. Rat's going to be with us. I love Vane. Vane's a blast. I wish they added the spike. Okay, yeah. When was the last time I got really excited for an update? I was excited for 1.0 because consoles. I was excited about the Frostclaw because I'm a huge Bigfoot fan, but it's really nothing like a Bigfoot. It's more of an elf that has he's covering up his gonads with a cloth. So, and really, what the thing that's really keeping me involved in 7 Days to Die is mods. I have really been wanting to try an Insane Nightmare run, though. I really have been wanting to try. Um, Vane is so grindy and tedious in all the right ways. That's like the perfect way to describe Vane, I think. It is grindy and tedious. It's the exact same map every time, and you know it, but it's like the grind is fun. The grind is a lot of fun. Let me jump over to some comments here. Frostclaw should be moved to a new ice cave POI and drop a red bag like Grace. That would be cool. I like that idea. Make him like double in size. Make him like an actually like a cave troll almost. We're already playing Insane Nightmare. It's called Asylum. That's why I want to do Insane Nightmare on default or on vanilla, because it would probably be like a walk in the park after playing Asylum. Oh yeah, I was excited for the Frostclaw. Yeah, I was pretty pumped for it. Um, I think they needed a ranged zombie. They needed something ranged to go after the bases that people were building. So I understand why they added them. But I wish they would add a zombie like Chuck, like they're doing, and then add an actual Bigfoot. He doesn't have to be a zombie. He can be angry. I don't care. But add a Bigfoot. Speed up the run. The rock is pretty slow, isn't it? I wish we could shoot the rock out of the air. Or can we shoot the rock out of the air? I guess I've never tried that. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like 7 Days to Die has gone so linear. You know, I mean, and I hate saying that, but because you can play the game any way you want. If you never want to go to the trader, you don't have to. But if you want to, you got to go to the trader, you got to do the quest, you got to read all the books, you got to keep looting all the mailboxes and stuff like that and read the books. I just wish there was another way to play without the magazines. I wish that if we wanted to play without having to worry about the magazines, like literally if you just wanted to be a builder and a miner and a builder and just worry about action skills, I wish we could play that way. But you can't play that way. You have to go looting. To be a better miner, you have to go raid a crack a book. You have to raid every single mailbox. You literally can't just build nonstop, because you'll never, I mean, yeah, you'll level up and you can put points into miner, 69er and motherload, but you won't be able to craft better weapons, better tools. I guess what my point is, I wish my big thing, I wish we had action skills back. I feel like that would make the game less linear, just because we don't have to go loot. We don't have to go to the trader and buy all the books and take the crafting skill bundle and stuff like that. We don't have to do all these quests. I think if the game was a little less linear, like Fallout, you're going to play the story. You're going to play the main quest and you're going to play all the side quests. The Witcher, you're going to play all the main quests and the side quest. It's really hard to go just wander around in The Witcher. You can in Red Dead Redemption too, but yeah, I just wish the game was just a tad less linear, more of a sandbox, and I think action skills would make it more of a sandbox. Just my personal opinion. That's what I think, but I only play vanilla on Mondays and when new updates happen. Other than that, I'll play with mods. Yeah. The mods are all I play, Shane. Yeah. They dumbed it down a lot with good intentions. And that's one thing they were clear about that. They wanted to make it appeasable to more of an audience, a bigger audience. They wanted to make the game appealing. I'm sorry, that's the word, to a larger audience. And you have to dumb the game down a little bit for that. You have to make it more of an arcade experience for that to happen. They wanted to bring in more people, and they did. They brought in a lot more people. Wish we had the old schematics from the old 7 Days to Die, like the mini bikes for known shits. That was a fun one. The whole reason they removed action skills was people exploiting it, but it's a game with tons of dudes. Yeah, and I know you can nerd craft, and there's different mods that have fixed the nerd crafting. Like, and I know you can sit overnight and craft like 16 stone axes, and Vane you can nerd craft also, and you can kind of exploit it. But there are some mods out there that have fixed the nerd crafting. Like Asylum. Asylum does a really good job of there's really no point in nerd crafting in Asylum. There really is no point. It doesn't get you anywhere really. With action skills, every playthrough was the same. Day one, collect materials and spend the night making 300 wood clubs and hatchets. I think the magazines make things a little more random. Okay. I appreciate that. They did the right thing just in the wrong way. Alpha 16 fixed the nerd crafting. That's true. That's true. I appreciate that perspective on the magazines. I guess I could say the other point though is so instead of crafting 300 wood clubs and axes, now you're literally just you're just a loot goblin. You have to go loot to find magazines and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I see your point. I totally see your point. Wasteland mod has bandits in it. Yep, sure does. I believe they do their own bandits. I don't know if they use NPC core. Outback Roadies has NPC core, I believe. It has bandits. So does Outback Roadies, and Propocalypse, I believe, has bandits too. I think those are both Aramis. Wild West mod, does it have bandits, Rat Dog? I can't remember. Did we have bandits in Wild West mod? I'm currently on tier 9 at Asylum. Really excited for tier 10. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't even know what tier I'm in, honestly. I feel like I'm tier 1. I feel like I'm moving so slow in the Asylum mod. I'm moving so slow. Not really. You can duplicate the magazine. If they remove magazines from loot when the skill is maxed and replaced it with something else. Okay. Yeah. So that's interesting because once you read an entire magazine set, you still get them in loot. What do you do with them? I mean, you sell them for money or you scrap them for paper. You and Spyton died in the same POI. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We had so many things trying to kill us. You did always have a bat flying above your head in Wild. I don't know that Wild West had NPCs. This is an interesting comment. I really let me I'll respond to this comment real quick. But I just started playing 7 Days to Die 4 weeks ago, learning to have fun. So there are people out there that have just started playing the game like a month ago. They're brand new. And so that perspective, they haven't experienced action skills. They haven't experienced what Alpha 16, 17, 18, 19 was like. They only know how it is now. So that's really interesting that there are people that haven't experienced it like that and they're excited for it. And so yeah, if you say like, hey, what do you think about action skills? It'd be like, I have no idea. I've never had action skills before. They don't sell for much. Yeah, they really don't. Hey, Exile, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? How about different loot for different players when searching the same thing? Yeah. You know, and speaking of loot, one thing they hinted at back in 1.0, like Alpha 21 was a loot slider. Just a slider in the settings that you turn it down, you'll have your loot will be less. And it'll basically make your game last a lot longer. So you'll be in the stone era maybe for 30 days instead of 5 days. Or you can make it go the other way, and maybe you'll find steel tools day one. It makes for a lot faster playthrough and stuff like that. They have hinted, they talked about adding that loot slider back in Alpha 21 and haven't mentioned it since. So I'm kind of wondering where that loot slider is. That'd be kind of interesting. So I wish there was NPCs that work for us like normal zombie apocalypse world. Like a normal, yeah, right? Start a little village, kind of like, what's the game? I've done this before. Oh, I can't remember. It's an Xbox game, but like you start a little village of NPCs. Started playing in Alpha 19, Isaac. I have 1,500 hours in it and started on console version. It's a great game once you get to know it. Mark Kinnison, welcome in. I think they made Loot Abundance. Loot Abundance has been in the game for a long time, though. That loot quantity has been in since console. It's been... if you're cheating, might as well play creative. I mean, hey, I don't mind creative. Just spawn everything in. I used to make a joke about that. Like when I used to live stream console version, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to log off for a minute and spawn in all the stuff to put in the loot so I can loot like a tier 5 pickaxe, steel pickaxe. I used to always joke about that. I've only got 850 hours playing. I mean, you're up there. You're closing in on 1,000. I started when they first brought it to console, like a proper preview sort of thing. Maybe like, yep, that was Alpha 15. It never quite made it to 16 on console before the Telltale debacle. That would be a great way to fix the excess of food. Here's a dream I have. Slider, you move it one way, you have action skills. You move it the other way, you have learn by looting. There you go. There you go. I've been a proponent for that for a long time, of just allowing action skills, like play the way you want. But I'll pick a theme on my new playthrough, and I always play permadeath. I can't play permadeath on mods. I just get slobber knockered on these mods. I rarely use creative. I only mainly use it to spawn in a helmet light mod nowadays. Loot goblin zombies. Learning how to best play this game 4 times in the last 12 months has just about got me to the point of setting this game on the shelf next to Pong, the game Santa brought me when it first came out. That's a comment on YouTube. It is interesting because every major update resets the game. It resets the game, which that's an interesting point. I think that legendary equipment will be attainable in bandit bases, and the equipment will have different levels to slow down the gameplay. I found a tactical shotgun in the game files. All right. I like that. Really like the quest updates. Gonna allow for much better early game. Now, this I agree with, and this is something I didn't really, I don't think I really covered this much. The quest updates, I might have glazed over it. Where was that? Oh, and quest improvements. Yeah. We have updated the quest system, improving which traders are selected in the world and the criteria for how their quest list are selected. The starter quest and the open trader routes quest. So, and I didn't cover this very much in the video because I was just trying to make it a quick video. So basically the intro starter quest are wrecked, and then your opening trade routes to Jen, to Bob, to Hugh. Why can't I think of the last trader? Hugh, Joel. The trader routes will direct you to the best trader that has the highest number of nearby quest locations by them or near cities. Rat dog. So Yeah, so let's say you unlock Gin. It's not going to send you to a Gin that's in the middle of nowhere next to a tiny little city. It's going to send you to the best Gin available that has the most jobs. The traders will now show up to 7 quests in each tiers, and it's going to show you 3 near, 3 medium, and 1 far, giving you the best variety available. The one thing I kind of wish is they would add the reset. I'm so spoiled with the reset quest in Asylum right now. I'm so spoiled with being able to reset the quest. Mr. Krabs, what's up? So yeah. And they have hinted at adding another quest. I think that comes out in 3.0 is the next quest. Where is the let me find the roadmap real quick. I haven't actually looked at the roadmap in a long time. Let me see. See if I can find it real quick. And I know I'm not really like trying to keep them on schedule with the roadmap. Let me see. Storms brewing. I don't care about that. Okay, let me just do this. Roadmap. Here it is. Okay. Well, that's not it. Helps if I knew how to spell. I put road MPA is what I did. Road MPA. Let's just go images, blow this up. Like, yay. Bring this over here. Okay, so we're in Storms Brewing, update 1. We've got weather system and biome progression overhaul. We got that wardrobe system, also known as our how to sell DLCs, which is crossplay, random gen for consoles. We got that. Additional zombie stages, spawn near friend, Twitch drops, outfit DLCs, and much more. So we got that. So Q2 of 2025, we're way past this, a new threat. Bandits, UI main menu overhaul, event system, new quest types. So yeah, we're looking at a new threat. Bandits, UI main menu overhaul, which I think they've hinted at adding some more sliders, I think, maybe something like that. An event system, which I really don't know what that is. If you guys know what that is, let me know. And then the new quest types. So we should be getting a new quest with 3.0. And then the road ahead, which will be sometime in 2048, there's going to be a trader overhaul, story mode, Steam Workshop support, and then a new quest type, which I think Steam Workshop support might be coming before this. I think maybe they might be doing that before. That might be a 3.0 thing that they're gonna put out sooner. I don't really know. But yeah, there's the roadmap. So we should be getting a new quest in 3.0. When is it going to be released on consoles? Well, 2.5 is going to be before the holidays, and then 3.0, I have no idea. I'm assuming next year sometime. I hope they fix the sights on the guns. I have so many problems with vanilla guns. Like which guns particularly? I'm just kind of curious. I'm just kind of wondering because I haven't used vanilla guns in a little while. So I'm trying to remember. That's a decade before I thought it would come out. Yeah, I'm being a little optimistic, Shane. So you were shooting for 2058. Event systems getting raided by bandits. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. Before which holiday? Rat Dog, I'm not saying which holiday. I'm just saying the holidays. It could be the Australian Christmas, for all I know. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Beard. Good catching up with you, man. I really appreciate that. The man from down under. The thunder from down under. I would like jars to be reusable, but rare to find. They would come, but they would have cans as early game alternative that as a chance to spill, or they can be used only once. So that's a good suggestion. Let's say they bring cans back. So maybe cans are like the early game glass jar that you can use just to kind of get by to make some water. And then jars are maybe something you find a little less of, but eventually you can craft. And but yeah, that's interesting. And then being reusable. That's an interesting. That's an hour ago on YouTube. What do you guys think about that? Because I will say, finding empty cans on day 55, finding like 10 empty cans in a house was really aggravating back in the old system. The holiday hasn't been created yet. That's funny. Holidays 2028, Phase Beast. You're calling it. I'm going to write you down for that, Phase. Holidays 2028. All right. I wrote you down. A decade of unkept promises when their bottom line is threatened is when they start caring what the player base wants. I mean, I can totally understand that perception. And I think a lot of people feel that way too. I think a lot of people in the community feel that way. And I think they voiced it in the reviews. And unfortunately, I think Blood Moons has suffered because of it. I think there's a lot of people that maybe played Blood Moons for like 10 minutes and just left a review because of how they felt about 7 Days to Die. So unfortunately, they almost should have chose a game that said that was not 7 days. Just call it Blood Moons or call it I don't know. Hordes. Actually, that was the original name was Hordes. It was Horde Z. Hordes with a Z. It was the original name of Blood Moons, and they changed it to 7 Days Blood Moons. So I would be fine with only getting cans from eating food. So like you find a canned food and you open it and eat it, and then you get to keep the can. Okay. Like the long dark boiling water from Suno. We used to be able to do that. And you can do we did that in Alpha 16 actually. Oh wait, we did it in Alpha 17 also because I streamed Alpha 17 and I was able to do that in Alpha 17. You would literally just go take a shovel, dig up snow, and then you could boil, whatever. Spartan 85, I hope they fix the sights because they are hard to use sometimes, but you can have the pistol, AK, tactical rifle, sniper, 44 buff guns, M60. Security Gaming, how are you? We need a betting pool. Okay, I'll work on a betting pool. Maybe I'll try to set something up in Discord. Just something fun. Maybe everybody chips in $1, I mean, $1. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Everybody maybe chips in $1 and we'll all kind of cowl. That might be kind of fun, actually. Is that legal? Is it legal in your state? I know sports betting is something that's become legal more. Blood Moons looks exceptionally not good. It's just not my thing. I've already went over Blood Moons. I met the devs of Blood Moons. They're good dudes. But it's just not my style of game. I'm not a big Dead by Daylight kind of fan. Nothing against Dead by Daylight. I think it's a great game. It's just not really my game. I was disappointed with the AK. The AK is that gun, like, okay, so you get the pipe machine gun, and then the hunting rifle, which I know is a rifle, it's not an assault rifle or a machine gun, and then you get the AK. I feel like the AK, I don't know. I feel like by the time you get the AK, you're really close to getting the M60 anyway, or you find it in loot, and you just kind of move on to the M60. Just a gift pool. Okay, perfect. I like it. Legendary Spade. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm laughing with you, Rat Dog. Betting pool to see how many times Rat dies during streaming. Hey, we died the same amount last time. Me and Rat Dog died the same amount. Spartan 85 gambling casino site. Let's do it. Sign me up. That's a lot of death. Like I said, we tied on deaths last stream. And I think it was just mainly because that house was so freaking tiny. That's why I do not do infesting clears at houses. I just don't. They're just death traps. I like nice open like farms, businesses that you can kind of move around in. I mean, just these. You guys saw how I died in the asylum stream Sunday night. I dropped down, and then like 8 zombies all swarmed me from all sides. And I mean, I should have waited for rat. That's what I did wrong. I should have waited. I always thought I was just going to drop down. I thought maybe 1 or 2 zombies was going to spawn, but then 8 spawned and I was just overwhelmed. That'd be a very diverse pool, rat. And we might it might be a quick bet too. Over 200 deaths. Oh man. Wow. In my playthrough, I make a monument for Thick 44. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, old Thick. Beehives are fun. I've been building those. I like the rework. Reminds me of when I first started playing. Still remember building my base, wearing nothing but undies while it snowed and got a trophy. I hope this fixes my building issues. That's my main problem. Always having to build scaffolding or new pole to create large things sucks. Building in your underwear. That is awesome. That's a core memory right there. You should have pushed Rat in. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Weiss Gaming, welcome in. Why change the player model for Trader Jen? I would like to see new guns and vehicles, new POIs, better quest rewards, and new paint. Okay, new paint textures was asked a couple times in the comments section. A lot of people want new paint textures and new block designs. I have no idea why they're changing Trader Jen. I don't know what's wrong with Trader Jen. Trader Jen just got an overhaul. Was it at 1.0 that she got overhauled, or was it 21 she got updated? It wasn't that long ago. Nord Army Xmas update. Hey, is that really good? Is that a good? I'm a big fan of Nord Army mod. I'd like to try that. Maybe I'll play that on Christmas Day. Maybe I'll do the Nord Army Christmas mod. I should have some time Christmas Day to stream. So Jason died a gruesome death in the Abandoned series Saturday. Death after the Horde night by Dog Horde. You know, my most deaths in this game have come right after the Horde. I guarantee it. Right after the Horde is when I die. I will survive the Horde, drop down, and either a Screamer Horde spawns in, or a Dog Horde, or I'm trying to kill the dire wolf that's left over. I have died the most right after a Horde. That is the most dangerous point in this game. I want them to add amusement park, large POI, or big shopping mall. There is a shopping mall mod made by, is it Fluffy Panda that made the mall? I know Genosis, I can't say his name. I believe they played it or helped do it, or they tested it. I remember watching Genosis stream that. I know they're working on the Duke's Casino. That's going to be like the story, part of the story. The Real 85, welcome in. Mr. Krabs, what they owe us bandits and bandits that's function too, not just more jank. I'm interested to see if Vane bandits are on the roadmap for Vane. I'm really interested to see what they do in Vane with bandits. Be kind of cool to see what they have in mind for it. Fluffy Panda did it. I thought he did it. Okay. Yep. Which, if I was the Fun Pimps, you got some really good, really talented mod creators out there in the community. You know, who's to say, give them a call and say, hey, We want to buy some of your POIs, throw them in the game. We want to buy some of your zombie models and put them in the game. I think if you can't give console mods, that is a good thing to think about. Is okay, we're gonna buy some of this stuff and add it in. Just an idea, you know. The mall was extremely detailed. It was it's super cool. It's in the New York Undead map that I played for Darkness Falls. It was there. I didn't get to clear it. I really wanted to. So bandits in Minecraft before 7 days. Hey, they kind of have bandits. Don't they have the pillagers? The guys up in their little fortress hanging out. The problem, hey, Flip, welcome in. Flip777. The problem with this game is you can add and change so much in it that I don't know if they'll ever actually finish it. And they've hinted at this before. I mean, they created this game back in 2013. And there's some like really old Unity assets and code that are still in the game from that. And it's really hard to work with. And so a lot of times when they make changes or updates, they're working with like Unity code and Unity assets that are just ancient. And so they're having to update a lot of that stuff. And they've said that in the dev streams before. And I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I mean, just, you know, people want the updates, give it to them. Modders have so much talent on making POIs. Hopefully they hire them. Yeah, if you don't hire them, at least pay them what, you know, a good amount, a fair amount for it. I would love upgrades to weapons. Repeater could use the 44 mag rounds. Assault rifles could use 9mm just by switching out receiver mods. I love the honey concept and the vehicle mods. The ability to swap shirts and pants would be nice. I played this game years ago with my son. A lot has changed. You know, that tugs at my heartstrings because me and my son played a lot. And there's actually videos on my channel of me and my son playing split screen of this game. And we have a lot of memories playing split screen 7 Days to Die. And I'll never forget, you know, like, hey, Dad, you want to play 7 Days to Die together on the TV? We can't anymore, man. Split screen's gone. Oh, you want to play the old version? Yeah, let's play the old version. Let's jump on and play it. And then he was just asking, like, well, where's this? Why can't we do quests? I'm like, well, quests are on the new version. We can't do split screen. So split screen tugs at my heartstrings there. We still play. I mean, he's got a PC in his room, and we'll jump on and play. He's jumped on some of my streams before, too. Being able to switch out receivers would be interesting. I mean, we used to have receivers in the game. You had to find an AK-47 receiver, hunting rifle receiver. That's definitely in the game, or was in the game before. I like the idea of maybe having an AK that you could put a 9mm receiver on. You know, maybe you want to use 9mm that day, switch out the receiver. That's pretty interesting. Or maybe make a carbine. How about a 9mm carbine? I guess we have the SMG that's a 9mm carbine. So I guess we already have the SMG. Mounted guns would be a great addition, yes. I feel like we need that in the Asylum mod, Rat Dog. We need to be able to mount like a M60 on top of a bug. Drive that around, just mowing people down. I think we need to mount it on the bug, Rat Dog, instead of the 4x4. How about a 4x4 bug? Dude, Tarkov. I have been trying to get Tarkov to work again. I can't find, and I've been actually talking with 7daysdiemods.com. They're trying to find the old 1.4 version of Tarkov for me because I want to go back and play it. Yeah, I love Tarkov. That's one of my most favorite mods. And I know Guns, Nerds, and Steel made the mod that like condensed the amount of ammo, but I actually like all the ammo that the mod has. I like that. Mr. Krabs owns the old version, still plays it. I mean, I still play it too. I've been thinking about doing a legacy series. Guns need different perks based on how you set them up. Taking multiple jobs in the asylum is nice, That would be a nice ad for vanilla. Multiple jobs. I think I drive Rat Dog nuts when I take like 13 jobs. It is nice though to run around and like knock out a couple jobs while you're out. Rat's bug needs a minigun. Do you ever miss the mutated Hornet from old 7 days? I do miss the old Hornet. Now, Darkness Falls, Kane added the Hornet back in, and it behaves more like a vulture. And I would even be okay with that. I do wish they'd bring the Hornet back, especially now that we have more recipes with the honey. I think it'd be cool. Please make another Legacy series. I'm definitely considering it. Definitely considering it. It's been on the back burner for a long time. And I think now's a good time to kind of do it because I think 2.5 will come out, and I think we'll have a long period between 2.5 and 3.0. Just my personal opinion. I don't know. I really don't have any knowledge. I mean, just on the forums, they have said that they've really haven't got bandits quite to where they want them yet. So I think 3.0 is a little far away, but a modification that adds a knife to a long weapon, kind of like a bayonet. That'd be nice. I mean, how many times I've run out of ammo in my magazine, and I have to switch back over. The bayonet would be interesting. Or even just like a Call of Duty melee button, like when you get somebody in your face and you hit them in the head with your stock. They need to bring back the football player and the firefighter. And the cowboy. Don't forget about that. The football player is one of my most favorite zombies of all time. You have a running zombie day one that has armor. I love it. I thought it was amazing. I don't know the reason they took him out. I don't know if it was just a size thing or it just wasn't working. Maybe it wasn't the lore. Yeah, I completely agree. Looking forward to the changes. Jars being one time is kind of needed for the survival aspect, unless something more complex, which would time more time where to be implemented. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of agree with that the one-time use makes it more of a survival aspect. So makes it more realistic, I guess. For the most part, I like what I'm seeing, although the Frostclaw did kind of grow on me, so it'll be a shame to see him go. I like what somebody suggested earlier about putting him in his own POI and make him like Grace. I like that idea. I don't see why they had to change them, though. Why not just add the 2 new models and keep the Plague Spitter and the Frostclaw? I agree with that. Make the Plague Spitter just a normal zombie. It doesn't make him shoot bees. He doesn't have to shoot bees. He could just be a normal zombie. Would make for more variety instead of swapping out. The bee farm kind of surprises me. I expected something like a chicken coop, which they are working on a chicken coop. It's got pushed back to 3.0 or possibly an update in 2.5. So a chicken coop is on the horizon. The new food items are nice, but I hope we get to see a new method to cook up food items and recipes. I noticed we can craft functional refrigerators. And that's something the Asylum mod does is you can craft stoves. You can have stoves that work. Vane has a campfire, a stove, an oven, an industrial oven, has different things that work differently. So Mr. Krabs is heading out, right? Be nice to mine for brass. Now, how would you implement that? The only thing I can think is something like on the Asylum, and I keep bringing up the Asylum mod. I'm sorry, but it's my reference. To make forged iron, instead of just needing iron and clay, you have to have quartz, iron, clay, and aluminum, I believe, which is bauxite. Maybe there's a recipe for brass. Maybe there's different ores. Maybe how about lead and I'm just kind of throwing things out there. Lead wouldn't be coal. Lead and nitrate. You smelt them down together, you get brass. Add some food coloring to it. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing something out there. I'm just curious how that would be implemented. But I'm totally for it. Security, totally for it. If nothing else, keep bottles. So don't keep glass jars, but keep bottles. Okay. When is the update coming out? We don't know for sure. Either I would think this Friday or the Friday after. So I would think, just kind of speculating, I would guess the 12th or the 19th is what I'm kind of guessing. Because they usually like to do these updates on Fridays. They have also done them on Mondays before too. So it could also be the 15th or the 22nd. But they have said that stable for consoles and PCs will be before the holidays. So PCs and stable will be in, has to be within 15 days, because that's the 24th. Dukes smelt 1 for 1. Okay, so you can smelt Dukes. That's true. That's true. You can smelt Dukes. Whoop, I just opened an NVIDIA. Okay, I don't need that open. Oh my God, NVIDIA, get out of here. The problem is still the original 7 Days to Die was a pure survival game, and it's now so far from that now, unless you use a mod, but looking forward to the update. Richard? Yeah. I mean, I remember Alpha 16 when Rat Dog and I went back and played it. You know, it the first several days was survival. I mean, we didn't do a lot of looting. We were literally just trying to survive. Going hunting, we were gathering water, trying to make shelter. I mean, that's the big three in survival is food, water, shelter. And then fire comes with that. But fires kind of goes with food and shelter. But yeah, food, water, shelter. And Alpha 16, that's what you did. I mean, you food, water, shelter. And you kind of do that in today's game too. I mean, you're after food, water, shelter, but it was a struggle in Alpha 16. To stop distracting us and drop the 2.5 update immediately now. Yes. Get out of here, NVIDIA. I don't want to. They really want me to play. NVIDIA really wants me to play Borderlands. They've been like shoving that down my throat. The Alpha 16 and back mod was good. That was a lot of fun. I probably would have played a lot more if Asylum didn't come out and kind of stole me from that. Yeah, it definitely did. While I understand that, actually, let me do this. Let me sort by the top comments. Let's see what 7 days to manage water. I like that. That got 13 likes. Let's see. I would love to see some fishing in the game. Different fish in the different biomes, and if it's in a big lake, sea, or smaller lakes. Otherwise, it feels like they're on the right path. Need more animals and food recipes. I agree. I think we need more animals. I completely agree with that. I think I've been, if you guys have watched me for more than 6 months, you know I'm a huge proponent on fishing. I think fishing should be in vanilla. I do think more animals would be nice. I wish we got an abandoned haunted asylum POI tier 4 or something. Ooh, an abandoned asylum. I've got Borderlands 4. I wasn't impressed. I streamed it. It was okay. Yeah, it was. I didn't really scratch the itch that I was hoping to scratch. Does that make any sense? I was a huge Borderlands fans back at Borderlands 1. I have so many hours in Borderlands 1. So yeah, But yeah, it's just I guess I'm on to different games now. If jars are a one-time use, then jars are not all truly coming back. The pimps know this. They're going to wait for us to complain and use it as an excuse to push development back another year. they're gonna blame you guys for complaining about the jars and then delay bandits more because we complained about the jars not being reusable. So careful, guys. Don't. You guys heard Rick in the town hall. It's funny that they said that. And this is why I wanted to do this stream. I really wanted to just know how everybody feels about it, you know, especially after even the town hall. Like how we feeling after, you know, several months after the town hall. That got 66 likes right there. So that's interesting. I'm 5,000 hours into the game over the years. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever stop playing it either way. And for me, any change to the system is welcome. It gives me an excuse to go in and start a new run and try out the different builds and biomes just to see everything new again. Always feels like a big reset, and I'm always excited to go in and try it out. I think that's always also a way for the game to feel current and new all the time. I think TFP knows this, and that's why they are constantly making changes. If they stopped, there would probably have been very few players years ago. And I agree with this. This is one of the first games in the history of my gaming my gaming history that I have played over and over and over. I can't think of another game. Minecraft, I go back and play a lot. Fortnite, I go back and play because they keep updating it. Call of Duty, I go back and play because they keep, making us rebuy the game. Battlefield, I go back and play. Fallout, I'll go back and play, but that's more for the nostalgia. Witcher 3, I'll go back and play. Medieval Dynasty, I'll go back and play. But yeah, but this is the one game that I keep playing nonstop. And even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would still be playing this game. The day one is addicting to me. Like starting a brand new game day one, that is like a rush of serotonin to me. I don't know, that day one struggle is like a rush of just adrenaline and serotonin to me. Green Hell, yeah, Green Hell's one that go back and play. Shade, yeah. It's Shane. Path of Exile, okay. Conan's a good one. I'd like to see mods for our backpack that increase the amount of storage. So like, yeah, instead of just encumbrance, increase the bigger backpack. All I gotta say is thank God 7 Days to Die doesn't do a weight system. Thank God, because like when I move, I have a workbench, I have a forge, I sometimes have a 4x4, a motorcycle, all in my backpack. Like how the hell? Like Vane has a weight system, and even if you move like a washer from one house to the other, you can only move it so far, and then you're tired. Then your character's tired, and you gotta go take a nap halfway through. They will drop update 2.7 jars fix community love update. The community love. Start a new playthrough is always the best. The way the game is now, you can get OP too quick. And by 21 to 28, you're just too powerful. Yeah, especially like if you put any points into mining, you just find mining books like so fast. I'd imagine, welcome in, Zamora. I would imagine most of the zombies end up eating some of the animals, making hunting limited. So like later game, there should be limited animals. Or about like in winter, you know, like all the animals are hibernating, you know, or something like that. If they did a weight system, we'd be screwed. Yeah, we would all be effed if they did a weight system. Yeah, like we're all carrying like 7,000 stacks of concrete going to our horde base. Like, I mean, how is that even possible? It's a, thank you, the Fun Pimps, for not doing a weight system. Thank you. The new Zord, oh my God, I know, not Zord, Nord Army Xmas have weight so you cannot move. Why? Also, Nord has a weight. Oh no, that's scary. Being able to craft while near your storage crates. That, yeah, broadcasting and craft from containers needs to be vanilla. That needs to be vanilla. So bad. I wish Vane would do that too. Carrying your 4x4 and all your workbenches. I just love the idea of putting like a motorcycle or a 4x4 in my backpack and just like hopping on a motorcycle and going down the road. I just love that idea. Like I want to make a video of 7 Days to Die. I know there was a YouTube channel that made 7 Days to Die in real life, and it was pretty funny. It's been several years. Couldn't care less about the jars. As long as we can get water pretty easily, it's good. Frost claws and plague spitters, a reskin doesn't change the annoyance level any. The vehicle storage mods sound interesting. If they are not too expensive, I'll be looking at it for sure. I'll wait till the first storm to tell you whether the feature gets turned off or not. Honestly, that's a great take. Like, that's a pretty good take of, like, I think how people feel. You know, are you still annoyed with frost claws and plague spitters throwing rocks and bees at you? Vehicle storage sounds interesting. And then, yeah, let's jump in and see how we feel about storms. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good take. One block of concrete in 7 days would be 450 pounds. Oh, man, that's funny. They need to add more adult gentlemen clubs. Hey, Phase Beast. With or without zombies in them. do you want adult gentlemen NPCs added? Is that what you're going? Is that what you're going after? I think I know what Phase Beast wants added. I'm always curious about how would settlements in the world be added in 7 Days to Die as a survivor and dealing with blood moons. I'm always curious about how settlements would be interesting if they added settlements of some type, like NPC settlements. Although, what if it went to the Fallout 4 style, where like Preston Garvey is like, "Hey, there's a settlement under attack," and you're like, "I'm trying to fight people here. Leave me alone, Preston." Like, so you're fighting a horde, and then somebody comes up, "Hey, we're under attack." Like, you're on your own, dude. I hate the mini boss because they make me avoid the desert and snow because they break your home. Yeah. I mean, I kind of avoid the desert right now. I don't mind the snow. Snow is actually my favorite biome because I think it's not quite ugly as the wasteland, and they don't have plague spitters. Storms annoy me most of the time. The thing I hate about the rock throwing is the splash damage. Yeah. Chippendales. You're right. We used to have a stripper zombie, an actual stripper zombie. It was very jiggles. Yeah, very jiggles. No zombie strippers. Oh, that's funny. OnlyFans zombie lady. The snow hurts your eyes. It is a very, very bright biome. Here's one of the paint ones. More paint options, more design possibilities. Why can't we have the lighting you see in the game or the fancy glass doors? Heck, I'd love some pots in the plants, like some stone planters or at Judy Witch. Okay. I think more paint and design possibilities and options would be a nice addition. I definitely agree with that. I'm not much of a builder, but I do know a lot of my friends are builders in the game. I am just waiting for bandits. I think a lot of people have been waiting for bandits for a long time, especially people that were in the Kickstarter. Donkey! Only Zeds with ZTDs. We need a Gen Z zombie. It can't function without its phone. That actually would be pretty funny. And maybe it's not a real zombie. Maybe it's a real person, like looking at their phone. They have no idea the zombie apocalypse started, but they're like a zombie on their phone, like just walking down the road. Burnt Forest also seems to be very dark at night. Yeah, I mean, I was really happy when they brought the Burnt Forest back, but now I just avoid it again. So I'm waiting for the game to get hard again. Play it. I don't. Are you on console? I was gonna say if you're on PC, play a Silent mod. It gets hard fast. But if you're on console, I understand. We don't have mods on console, so I would really like more weapon diversity. Izzy's gun pack is a must for me because I like having more than one option when starting a game, like Fallout New Vegas. Oh, I love Fallout New Vegas. Oh, you can choose early on from a 9mm or 357 Magnum. Having the option for a pipe 44 pistol or early SMG would be fun. I think they need to add an early game 44 weapon. That's what I think. Like, later it just takes a little while to get the 44 Magnum. Now, vanilla, you can get it pretty easy from the trader, but I think we need an early game, even like a cowboy repeater, or like make the lever action rifle maybe 44 Magnum. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, Izzy's gun pack is really good, and I think a lot of those could be implemented into vanilla pretty easy, like the Mosin Nagant, the SKS, stuff like that. I mean, I think a lot of those could be implemented pretty easy. I don't see why not. Where did my? Yeah, I mean, I love Izzy's. I pretty much have to play with Izzy's mod pack when I play nowadays. Like I have to. Or like Asylum adds different weapons. The update will be known as the Fart Jar update. Pass it on. Nice. I like it. The lever gun should be a 44. See, that's what I think. I think the lever action rifle should be a 44 Magnum. And I wouldn't be opposed to adding a pipe 44 weapon of some sort. A 22 long rifle Magnum. Ooh, there you go. So maybe a lever action pipe rifle would be kind of cool. A 410 revolver. There you go. That's a fun round. Very diverse round. There's a mod that lets you shoot 44s in the lever action rifle that should be on vanilla. I completely agree. Or maybe adding a 38 special 44 mag, like we have 44 Magnum, but maybe adding 38 special to vanilla. Because a lot of revolvers, a lot of things shoot 38 special and 44 Magnum together, and 44 Magnum's more of the like the powerful round, and then the 38 specials like more of your lighter round, cheaper round. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of 357, aren't I? I'm thinking of 357, not 44 Magnum. 357 and 38 special go together. My bad. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. When I said it out loud, I'm like, that's not right. 357. For a zombie game, they could have a 30-06. Yeah. Could also have a 17. That's a good coyote round. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, homie. Cecil, when I said it out loud, I'm like, wait a minute. Those don't go together. 357 is what we're going with. So yeah, I think that would be cool. I personally don't like any of the changes like water and smell. I know they are popular systems the community wants, so cool. I'll keep playing regardless, but because at its base, it's still the game I love. Yeah, smell is going to be interesting. I wonder if smell is going to be one of those things that's going to irritate people. I don't know. They got 18 likes, so 18 people agree with that. Or, and this is interesting. It's not about the jars. It's about them taking away a perfectly fine system for no reason. This is kind of what I meant. Like, I think, like, the community, there was a wall between the community and the devs, and it was the glass jars. And I don't know if it started with Jawoodle's video or it just started as a Reddit thread, but like glass jars was like became it. And so, and then the devs were on Reddit kind of poking fun at the community because of glass jars. Like, is this really what you guys want? Like, you guys want us to stop what we're doing and add glass jars back into the game? And I think it was just one of those things like glass jars represented everything that the devs have taken out of the game. The smell, glass jars, water, action skills. It just kind of represented everything. And so it's so interesting. I mean, we can make a documentary later on about this whole thing and how it spiraled. NZ, I have not played NZ mod. I've been wanting to though. Your End is another good mod. Jean's been trying to get me to play Your End. So they haven't said anything about the current lackluster character generation system yet. I want them to add normal clothes back, as I've had to abandon my 101 day no armor mods, no strength weapons or machine guns, clothes only challenge run. That's a heck of a run. A heck of a challenge. No armor mods, no strength weapons or machine guns, clothes only challenge. I'm sorry. You can't use strength weapons or machine guns? That is like a very specific challenge. So you have to use either a spear, a knife, a bow, a baton, a shotgun, a rifle. That is an interesting challenge. Huh. Things that make you go, huh. Supercorn having a good use would also be nice. Yeah, that's true, actually. Supercorn having a use. Please make a documentary on the do and how they kept changing 7 Days to Die. It needs to be a series, like a 7-season series, like Game of Thrones. Do a no guns, no food, boxers only challenge. Boxers. I should do an underwear challenge. I think I should do a tidy whitey challenge. I should do that. Maybe I'll do that soon. I'll do a tidy whitey challenge. My brain hurts after that challenge. Dude, my brain hurts. I just read it. I mean, I'm just like, huh? It might be a language thing. Maybe they're typing in a different language and it's translating, but I don't know. Like here's one here that YouTube won't translate for me. I'm sorry. I wish I could read what you said. I'm sorry. I took French in high school, not Spanish. I regret that so much. I wish I would have taken Spanish. Having to learn how to best play the game 4 times. Oh, I've already read that one. Sure, because I know when I use a jar or a glass in daily life, I just shatter it on the ground after one use. Doesn't everyone do that? That's funny. Like you just grab a jar, drink it, and then throw it on the ground. So Or in this case, it just literally disappears. It's just gone. Like, bye. Oh, that's Bob Peltier. He's been a member for a long time. The quest updates one. Yeah, no weapon updates. I love Jar. Hourglass. I love Jar. Zombie health bar would be nice. Yes, it would. I am very spoiled right now having a health bar. I even added it, I believe, in when I did the Builder series, which I do want to finish the Builder series. I have the mods still installed in a separate file. I'm gonna finish the Builder series. I promise. I have a lot more time coming up in the next month or so. I'm gonna finish that. I have been strapped lately. I want to do an empty hands playthrough again. Empty hands, like what's an empty hands playthrough? Like, is that like fist only? I like third person and turrets using HP ammo. I don't like the jar compromise that is being pushed. If they want jar of water to be a one-time use, I want to hear that window glass shattering sound effect. That makes me think of Stone Cold Steve Austin's intro in WWE now. Like, dun 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 dun. Like that's what I want now. I that's what I want. Every time we drink a bottle of water, I want to hear the glass break and then Stone Cold's intro played. That's what I demand now. That's what I demand. Still no fast travel for loot management between bases. Yeah. I don't know have they ever talked about adding fast travel? I'd have to think about that. Fast travel would be interesting. You'd have to put your. Yeah, I don't know how fast travel would work. They have talked about adding a radio to the game for quests. Like you can put a radio in your POI and do quests from that. Empty lands. Empty lands. Oh my God. I read that wrong, didn't I? Oh my God. I'm apparently losing my brain. Empty lands. I actually want to do one too. Just have Cecil make that sound for you. Okay, I will. Cecil, I need a new sound. Warp to your land claim. That'd be cool. Yeah, it was brought up, but nothing ever. Yeah, it was brought up. One of the things they probably brought up in a like a whatever you call it, one of those streams they did. That's what I'm kind of guessing. So, those radios were supposedly where to fast travel. Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. The radios had something to do with fast travel. But another thing they mentioned, like the loot slider, that just never been talked about again. Sorry, wife was talking to me. What about? Oh, Cecil, there's a comment. So this guy said, I like third person and turrets using HP ammo. I don't like the jar compromise. I want to hear that window glass shattering sound effect every time we use a jar. So I was thinking the window shatter needs to be the Stone Cold Steve Austin intro, like when the dun 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 dun. It needs to be that. So every time I drink a jar, we need to have that sound. And honestly, I could add that to the XMLs. I would just replace the gulp 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 sound with the dun dun dun. I would just do that. Oh, dude, this may be the first XML I ever edit. I might do that. It'd be cool to do Empty Lands playthrough on the Asylum mod, but you need the trader to get your stuff. Yeah. Adding a smart dump chest into vanilla so I don't have to spend hours sorting my inventory. Yeah, Asylum has that. It's kind of on the jank side right now, but it works. But yeah, a dump chest would be cool. They should add a bus stop and you pay Dukes and the bus driver you to another biome or something and it drives fast. All right. The bus driver can be Trader Jimmy. Hey, Trader Jimmy's back. Either that or a crunchy chewing, like, yeah, like, I'll see what I can do. I wonder if they have that sound on. I wonder if I can find that because under 10 seconds, you usually don't get copyrighted on YouTube. I wonder if I can just find that. Win update, no complaints on my end. That's a comment. I like the rework. Reminds me of the first started playing. Still remember. Okay, I've already read a lot of these comments. I've already read. Don't like the Frostclaw look like a Yeti, but I don't mind the old Plague Spitter personally. However, I like getting jars and cans was more realistic. I do really like the smell mechanic. I also think the bees coming out of the workstation is kind of cool. Gives the modders cool code to play with. That's true. I find there should be maybe a hypothermia or a heat stroke to weather system. We used to have hypothermia. Did we have heat stroke? We had hypothermia back in 15 and 16. Pretty frustrating that we're up to 2.5 and we still haven't gotten the Bandits quest line, and we were promised we'd get years before 1.0. Instead, we're constantly got old systems we've removed and brought back, pointless storms, magical smoothies, and monsters that spit bees and throw rocks. I mean, they've already said in the roadmap that we're going to get them in 3.0, but I get the frustration. Like Bandits was promised in the Kickstarter. And this is interesting comment because I kind of go back to Rick saying we have to delay Bandits because of the things you guys want. Bandits is delayed because of their having to bring things back that they chose to remove. No one ever asked them to remove these things. They chose to remove these things. So, you know, Bandits isn't delayed because of us. It's delayed because of the choices they have made. They have delayed it. So that's what I keep going back to. Me no like jars. I want angry men update. Please, no hairy big man in desert, please. What's really funny is we're almost at 2.5 and they added a DLC page to the main menu, but haven't removed the early access disclaimer. That is interesting. Do you wish for forged metals, forged lead, and titanium? Forged titanium would be cool. I do think we need something after steel. We used to have refined steel because now we have these charged and infernal zombies, the blueberry and the pumpkin pie zombies that do a lot more base damage. So I think having something after steel, like refined or whatever that steel, like maybe titanium would be good to be able to upgrade our bases a little bit more. I think that'd be really good. Based on TFP's history, I'm just going to continue playing my heavily modded games and assembling Storm's biome progression. I play Wasteland-only maps on Warrior difficulty with mods including HUD rework, floating damage numbers. Ooh. Floating damage number. Is that a zombie damage? Or is that a base, like a base damage number, I wonder. 3 armor mods, 4 weapon mods, 2 vehicle mods, craft from containers, hot deposit, stop fuel waste, and 3 extra zombie packs. That sounds like a pretty good time to me. Once upon a time, we had tungsten. That sounds familiar. Did we have tungsten? The upgrade was stupid expensive. I rarely upgraded to tier 2 steel. Yeah, it was very, because it took forged steel and was it oil that it took? I don't remember what it took. Tungsten and Alpha 11. I was going to say that must have been a really old one. That was before my time. See, I always call it refined. It's reinforced steel. That's way back. Yeah, that's way back. I like the fantasy feel to the Frost Claws and the Desert one. I wish they'd keep them in the game as a special enemy that can appear as a boss type enemy on missions during Horde Nights, only in their biome. I want the new ones too. I just don't want them to replace the old ones. Or let us make the decision to have skins to choose for zombies. I'd probably rather buy a zombie skin pack. Huh. There you go, fun pimps. How about let us buy a zombie skin pack than a character skin pack that we can't see, especially for single player people. There's a way to generate some money. Rustic Moose. I remember when we had to let the concrete dry. I liked that mechanic. I liked it. You really had to think about that. You really couldn't build a base on Horde Day. You had to build your base a couple days before Horde Day, and you had to let your concrete dry, and then you had to go back and upgrade it again. That was a cool mechanic another thing they took out was the concrete drying. The wood frame. And remember when you put the wood frame down, it upgraded to iron and then reinforced iron. And then I think it went to concrete. Like you had to go through iron. You actually had to make the conscious choice to make like rebar frames and put the rebar frames down. Spartan is hiding that he will be a $15 skin in 7 days. He will make thousands. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Trust me. I think I'm really surprised I'm still in the creator program, to be honest. I try to be objectively, this is what I try to do. I try to, stay in the middle somewhere. I try to get you guys to give your reactions and stuff like that. I give my reaction. But it's, I'm also not gonna kiss ass all the freaking time and go, oh my God, this is a great, I give out the news. I put it out there. I let you guys react to it. I'll give my reaction to it. It's still a game that I have 4,000, 5,000 hours in. And that's, even if I stop playing tomorrow, I still have really great memories. And I've made a lot of friends with this game too. So there's really no point in me to go like badmouth the devs or something like that. I've met most of the devs in person, You're honest and not mean or a suck up. Yeah, thank you, Rat Dog. That's what I try to be. I try to be honest. I try to be objective. I'm not going to kiss their ass, but I'm also not going to come out here and just badmouth them. Because at the end of the day, they have to support their families. They have to make decisions. They have to do that. And like at the end of the day, this is a game that I have like 5,000 hours in and made friends like Rat Dog and Jean and Jutri and Echo and all people that play in the servers. There's a bunch of people in there. Like that's stuff that's just I've earned or I've just gained, from this game. So at least you're honest and you tell us our feedback on the game. So hopefully they can listen. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Joel has been in my comment section a few times. There's been a couple other devs. Pocket Ninja's part of the team now, part of the creative team now. She's in here. So hopefully they see this. Hopefully they see what people say and how people feel. Spartan is not an evil, hairy Grinch like a man. He's Grinch. My kids think I'm a Grinch. I'm not a big fan of Christmas. I'm just not. I'll do it, but I don't like that how our society wants you to spend so much money on gifts and stuff for people when I'd rather just spend time with people, like to spend quality time. Like, why do we got to go buy all these gifts and stuff? Like, why? But it's just how our society is. It's media and all that stuff. But I'd rather just hang out with family, I imagine Horde Night in real life would be scary. Yeah. Dark. Zombies running at you like nonstop. Let's see what else we got. That's probably a good time to wrap it up. Trying to see. My kids should be home any minute from school. I made a lot of friends through the game, except that stand with the frying pan. That guy's an a-hole, isn't he? That's an inside joke. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Which armor do you think is best? I am a huge fan of the Preacher armor. I love the undead damage. Um, I like the Biker armor too because it does a lot with stamina. And I believe it helps with gas usage too, which once you get the motorcycle, you're burning through the gas like crazy. Um, so Preacher, Biker, I like the Nomad headset because of the headgear because it gives you better loot stage. I always wear that. I always increase my loot stage. I generally go after Preacher, Biker, and Nomad. I think those are the big ones. The ones that helps with carrying capacity, I think is it Nomad, the chest armor gives you better carrying capacity. Those are usually the ones I go after. But I think full set, I think you can't go wrong with the Biker and the Preacher. I think those are the two. Will they rework Trader Jen and make her and have her romance players? Totally asking for a friend, right? Phase Beast. Nomad gives you food and water reduction. That's an okay one. Preacher armor makes me feel like a cultist. That's okay. We need Colts in 7 Days to Die. Now we need Colts. Yep. I mean, we've already got POIs that have several Colts, like Colts in the attic and Colts in the basement and stuff like that. I usually mix and match too. Is usually what I do. I usually mix and match. That's generally what I do. So, well, guys, I think that's gonna do a wrap for me. I'm just over 2 hours. I'm gonna log off. I might be live tonight, checking out a new game. I got a lot of keys I need to play that are coming out in December. So I might be live tonight, maybe. If not, I'm live tomorrow night with Vane. That's our multiplayer collab tomorrow night. So come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. We'll be I'm mulling over whether I need to advance it a month. What I'm worried about is if I advance it a month, all of our food and water goes bad. So I'm gonna do some testing probably today and tomorrow, just testing what happens when we advance it. All the food and water we cooked, and if all of our reinforcements upgrades to the house go bad. That's what I'm kind of worried about. So maybe we won't advance it. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. So all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rat Dog, for the super chat. I appreciate that a ton. And yeah, as soon as I hear a release date that I can announce, I'll get it out to you guys, either in Discord or a post or maybe a really quick video or something like that. I'll get it out to you guys. So thanks, guys. I'll see you.